Hey guys, today I'm going to talk about one of the prominent holiday in Vietnam. When it comes to the 2nd of September, which holiday would come to your mind first? Obviously the national holiday in Vietnam, right? It is like obvious fact. I don't need to explain further. But for today's video, if you're like foreigners or if you're people who've never been to Vietnam before or who like had no intuitive knowledge of Vietnam, then this video is for you because I'm gonna explain to you guys every single thing I've known about the history, like the formation and the like how can we conceptualize our knowledge about the national holiday, and some suggestions if you happen to come to Vietnam during the national holiday, what should you do there and which destinations should you pay a visit to. So let's get started. So for a little bit of background, that the national holiday has takes place annually on the September of 2nd. So fun fact, today is actually the national holiday, and that is the reason gives me the motivation and gives me the inspiration to start recording this video, because I want to do something that relevant to the current situation or the current affair that actually happens in real life. So I think it is like kind of like realistic to do about. So yeah, that's my motive for today. Anyway, so which event lead to the national holiday? So back in 1945, so this happened quite a long time ago, in 1945, when President Ho Chi Minh declared that Vietnam has been completely independent and out of like invasion from other nations, and like then the government decided to legislate and to pass a law in order to celebrate the national holiday, in order to like commemorate this event, the time when we were declaring the independence of Vietnam. And so that's the reason leading to this decision of like announcing and popularizing the national holiday. So the national holiday has a lot of meaningful like lessons deep beneath the letter. The first one is that it represents Vietnamese patriotism and the proud, like Vietnamese people need to take pride in becoming a citizen and of becoming like a completely independent country, so that they can actually collaborate and collectively kind of like work together in order to make my country become a more prosperous, a more fulfilling country, something like that. So that is the reason why national holiday has become such a prominent and a fundamental national holiday in Vietnam. So here are some suggestions for our visitors and for foreigners coming to Vietnam and pay a visit to this. Then here's some suggestions. First, you definitely have to observe and you definitely have to like uphold the firework displays, because the firework here is absolutely mesmerizing. Like in some major cities in Vietnam, some like metropolis in Vietnam, like in Hanoi or Ho Chi Minh City, the whole national holiday is celebrated in a very lavish, in a very dynamic ways. But there are some traditional ways of celebrating national holiday, for example, family gatherings or reunion with your hometown, or you can possibly go traveling in different destinations. It's up to you. But personally, here are some traditional activities that people normally do in a national holiday, because we are allowed to take a day off, or if that like coincidentally overlap in the weekends, then we can actually take another day off in order to compensate for that particular day. So for example, in this particular year, we're allowed to take 4 days off because the national holiday happens to be on the weekends, so we can actually out of work, or like we are allowed to not go to school or go to workplace on Monday and Tuesday in order to compensate for that particular weekend we're already taking a break from. So that is how it works. So yeah, I think that a lot of you guys probably will go on vacation on the national holiday. It is like a very popular activity over here, but there's a lot of festivities you can actually participate in. For example, watching firework, or basically paying a visit to the local areas or the churches, or basically just take a stay vacation at home, just lazing around and doing nothing, just taking a break before school starts. So yeah, that's my opinion about this. Basically, the meaning of the national holiday is to express the gratitude and the appreciation that Vietnam is independent, and how to build up and how to strengthen the prosperity of my country. So thank you so much for watching to the very end. I hope you guys find some piece of information useful about the national holiday, because I am particularly really impressed by like how the national holiday was constructed. As I'm doing some research for this particular episode, I was literally speechless, because I am not interested in fighting about my country story. Like, it's not because I despise my country, or like I am not interested in my country or whatever. It is because like history is not really my favorite subject, because I think like it, by the way, this is kind of like off topic a little bit, but I'm also going to talk about the Vietnamese curriculum, that we're focusing too much on memorization, on rote learning for history. And so students tend to associate history with boredom and with frustration, or even exacerbation, because of the amount of knowledge they have to learn by heart or they have to memorize. It is tend to really discourage students from learning and from taking pride in the historical events. So what I would advocate, in order to stir up the excitement and the enthusiasm among students, in order to like for history to come more naturally to them, is to actually engage students in more campaigns and more organizations to raise students' awareness about the overall meaning of the historical event. So that's what I would suggest for the governments or for the educators to take into consideration and to implement, in order to avoid this discouragement as much as possible. So that's basically what I want to talk about the national holiday. So thank you so much for watching this to the very end. I hope you guys find some piece of information useful, and happy national holiday. Bye.